Fantasy tabletop role-playing game, Dungeons and Dragons, celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. And over the last half century, the game has drawn in a new and more diverse fan base. Photojournalist Noah Esterson, with the help of reporter Matt Gregory, put together this story on the history of the game and the surprising benefits it can have on people's mental health.
In 1974, Gary Gygax and David Arneson released the very first edition of their tabletop role-playing game, Dungeons and Dragons. In the 50 years since, D&D has grown from a niche hobby to a worldwide phenomenon. It's prominently featured in popular media, spawned numerous actual play podcast shows, and even had its own major motion picture. All of this representation has led to a surge in new players, many of which are far removed from the nerdy shut-in stereotype that used to be associated with the game. With the release of the 5th edition of the game in 2014, the focus of the gameplay shifted more towards story and character development, making the game easier for new players to get into.
The pandemic was when I really got into playing tabletop games.
Amber Logsden is a professional game master, or GM, and she says that the influx of new players has resulted in a game and a community that's much more open and inclusive than it used to be.
I feel like there are so many more opportunities for that storytelling element that allow people who felt put off or like gate-kept from the community. They now have that key to open the gate.
The inclusion of more diverse races and character options in the 5th edition has also nurtured that inclusivity, giving validation to players who felt excluded within an already fringe community.
I'm now seeing like a lot more women leading tables. I'm seeing like players of color like leading the charge and creating amazing, expansive worlds.
Those new perspectives also lend themselves to another of the game's unexpected benefits as a form of communal therapy, social skills, relationships, even overcoming trauma. D&D challenges players to improve not only aspects of their in-game characters, but of themselves as well. Carl Kanar is another professional GM, and he's been playing D&D since the beginning. He's seen the mental health benefits firsthand.
One of my partners in role-playing, that she had been so abused and stuff in her real-life relationships, that going through a role-play relationship that was much more supportive and loving and all that kind of stuff helped her get past that.
But one of the most well-known benefits of this inclusive version of the game and its more diverse fan base has been the ability for players to discover who they really are as a person.
I feel like in recent years, as people have begun to feel comfortable questioning things within themselves more and more, they're also looking for different ways to be able to explore those questions within themselves without fear of judgment.
I have had players where they would tell me, I might be a little quiet because normally I'm kind of an introvert. And then they come out and they blossom, right? And they're a great role player because being able to put that mask on allows them to express themselves.
I know plenty of people who were using their character as a way to like explore what it felt like to be anything other than themselves, especially at tables where the GM wants to foster openness, that type of community. D&D allows for people to feel like they have that escape.